women's race, Atsede and Chepkurui. In the men's race, Haley and DeCisa.
Tom, we have a 30-kilometer split, just 12 kilometers to go. They ran a, well, less now than 12 kilometers to go, but when they went through 30 kilometers, they ran a 14:50 5K, bringing their projected time down to 2:12. So that fast running we saw was reflected, of course, in the 5K. And look at the break occurring on the women's side.
Yes, again, it is the world #1 this year, winner in Dubai in January, who's easing away there and working very hard. And you know when you get that gap and you've been running alongside and battling alongside somebody for 20 minutes, half an hour or longer, and you suddenly get that realization that you might have broken them, you get a surge of adrenaline, and it really does help, and you put a bit of extra effort, and the gap is widening now with every stride. And Turfi Sigai getting away from the pair behind her, Kipketer and Chepkurui. Baysa it is, in fact, who's come through really late over the last few minutes. And this is a big, big surge. And the acceleration from Baysa is pretty spectacular, frankly. Atsede Baysa, the Chicago winner back in 2012 and indeed back in 2010. Another Ethiopian, of course, and it could be a 1-2 for Ethiopia, but in what order? Because this, Craig, you look at the turnover rate of those legs from Baysa, who is a prolific racer. She's run 27 marathons in the last 10 years. Is staggering. She's closing that gap visibly from that shot.
She was 30 seconds behind at 35K. So Baysa has entered the race. She's taken over second and has Sigai in her sights.
So that's in 13 minutes she's closed that gap, because they've now been running for 2 hours 17, the ladies, as you can see. Good running too behind these athletes from Spence Gracie. Neely going really well in 10th place. Crouch in 11th place as well. 2:09 at 35K. The leaders went through 35K in 2:04. So she was about 5 minutes down at 35K. The times are not going to be quick today. That's irrelevant. Boston is and always has been about racing first and foremost. But this is an astonishingly late and powerful challenge from Baysa, when we thought we knew which three were going to be 1, 2, 3 on the rostrum.
Atsede Baysa of Ethiopia has come from nowhere to challenge Sigai for the lead.
And when you think that she won Boston 2010 and again in 2012, it's kind of weird she's making her Boston debut here at Atsede Baysa. Tiny figure, 5'3", 93 pounds, that's all, but that converts, of course, to a wonderful power to weight ratio. And she just looks relaxed, and I kind of feel for Sigai here, Craig, because she probably thought she'd broken away and got the race in the bag. And as you said, Tom, almost from nowhere, this yellow vest is just blown up onto her shoulder and is now a meter in front.
As we see the Ethiopians and the Kenyans dominating both races here, one wonders about any impact on Rio, because there have been some positive doping tests in both those countries.
Well, more than 40 positives on the side of the Kenyans in recent years, and Kenya has been given until May 2nd. It's a revised deadline, now the third deadline they've been given, to show that it has a serious anti-doping program, or they might be banned from the Olympics altogether. One of the women who's tested positive from Kenya, Rita Jeptu, a 3-time Boston winner, and the Kenyan president has pledged that they will get it right. They will pass the proper law and get the proper testing in place. Ethiopia dissolved its anti-doping committee last week, and the World Anti-Doping Agency has given them until November to have an effective anti-doping program in place. Lots of discussion about both of these countries with respect to their anti-doping programs.
But 4 athletes in shot, 2 by 2, and they're all Ethiopian. I mean, when you're talking about Kenya possibly kept out of the game, can you imagine the games without David Rudisha, the 800 Olympic champion, without Eunice Sum, the top 800-meter runner on the ladies' side, without Eliud Kipchoge, the world #1 in the marathon distance? It's unthinkable, and we pray that situation is resolved. Baysa there to the left, though, Tom, has eased away. A nervous little glance over her shoulder just now, but she'll have seen what she wants to see, and it looks like she's broken Tsegay, because that gap is, what, maybe 25 to 30 yards and growing.
And as Baysa continues to dominate the field, what a move she made. We're going to stay here through the conclusion of the women's race. Right now, as you said, tiny, 5'3", 93 pounds, Baysa of Ethiopia is pulling away.
Well, she is a 2:22 performer, so let's not take away from her credentials in terms of running against the clock. When necessary, she can run very, very quickly indeed. That was when she won Chicago back in 2012, 4 years ago now. So while she hasn't been able to improve upon that, she is turning out to be a very, very astute tactical racer, as we're seeing unfolding here on the streets of Boston today, Tom, because the time is going to be slow. We're still looking at a predicted time of around 2:30 for the ladies. Doesn't matter, but it just shows that come the circumstances, she can handle it. You know, 2:22 is top-notch, very, very quick. This is 8 minutes slower, and yet she's doing the business.
She just passed 40K.
So a mile and a quarter to go, and you know, I just love the way she ran it. You documented it so well, Tim, in the sense that she laid off the pace. She watched the fireworks up ahead of her, and then she just charged by. And of course, you talked about that with Shalane when Desi Linden passed her at the U.S. trials. If you're going to go by someone, go by them with authority. Make them think about, you know, what they've got left. And she certainly left no doubt about her fitness, turning around to check every so often. But this was a run from home that was going to be difficult to stop.
To her credit, Tsegay in the background is still working hard. I think one benefit to her, perhaps, is she is heading for second place, is that she's worked so hard to try and keep within some kind of reach of Baysa, is that she's been dragged clear of Chepkirui back in third place. They've literally got, what, about 6 minutes, maybe 7 minutes of running to go, so very little over a mile to run for Baysa. She keeps looking round. About every 30 seconds, she has a glance over her shoulder. I think she can't believe it. This will be the biggest run of her career since her second Chicago win 4 years back.
As you said, her 27th marathon, only the 5th fastest time in the field, behind 4 of her countrywomen. But imagine, she started running marathons in 2006, when she was 19, and she'd run 2 to 3 marathons a year, except one year she ran 4, 2009. So she's a veteran in terms of experience, but as you say, not in winning big city marathons other than Chicago.
This is fairly common amongst a lot of the East Africans, is they tend to, when they first come onto the marathon scene, they run the smaller races, and because they need to make the money or want to make the money, they will run 3, 4, even 5 marathons a year. And then when they start producing better times, generally what seems to be happening is the better coaching, the better agents get hold of them, impress upon them the importance of doing the right thing, and they reduce it down to 2 races a year, and that's when the big performances come out. And that would appear to be the career profile of Atsede Baysa here, because she is very, very strong here today in the world's oldest and perhaps the most significant marathon.
Look at the surge she made that carried her from nowhere in sight to first, and still pulling away.
So she gave up about 10 seconds in the 5K leading to 35K, but then of course she used that very quick, the quickest 5K of the day for the women, to get back into the race and go into the lead. And I was wrong, she's won Paris twice. I'm sure Paris would consider itself a big city, Tim.
I was there a couple of weeks back. It's pretty big, Paris. Yeah, I think they had just over 40,000. It's the world's second biggest marathon behind New York now. Paris, they're trying to break the New York numbers, but my money's not on them. I think New York can up their numbers if they wanted to. There's another glance over her shoulder. Don't worry about that. Just get your head down. You're inside the last mile now. She's not going to be caught. What's impressive is that leg turnover. Look, she's right up on her toes. There's almost the stride of a 1,500-meter runner there, the way she's covering the ground. It's lovely to see. Light on her feet, literally.
You know, we spent a lot of time early in the race talking about Olympic qualification, and what a tragedy for Atsede. You know, she had the fastest time in the world this year, which you talked about, her 2:19.41 from Dubai. She seemed like she was on her way to winning Boston, which would have given her good consideration from the Ethiopian selectors. Now I have to think that she won't get that consideration.
And you can't come back from this. You run an April marathon, you don't get a second bite at trying to impress the selectors. You know, the nominations will be in probably by the end of this month, so to speak.
Atsede Baysa, Ethiopia, all by herself, now hearing the cheers of the crowd.
Well, surely now she can begin to celebrate to the gap. Back to Sergei. Terfi Sergei is pretty big. Sergei, I wonder whether she'll be considering now the wisdom of running that Dubai marathon. The thing about Dubai is, again, it's one of those few marathons that pays monstrous prize money, isn't it? $200,000 for crossing the line in first place in the Dubai marathon. You've got to weigh that up against perhaps a place in the Olympic team. That might have been the trade-off.
And the crowd sensing Baysa's appearance.
Still glancing over her shoulder there, Tom. She's in Boylston now. She's taken that final left turn, but she just, I think, just can't believe it.
Patience is a virtue, and we talked about the fact that this course tests everyone who runs the race, that you've got to manage the course and the race, not let it manage you, and she did it to perfection.
Well, 2:28 in the clock. She's got less than a quarter mile to go, so it's going to be some way under 2:30, but time's not important on a day like this, where it's been such a strangely unfolding race. But this was world-class closing from her, and if anybody comes out of this with monstrous credit and perhaps is running themselves into a Rio slot, it's this young lady.
And the roars of the crowd swell. Atsede Baysa, Ethiopia.
$80 meters to go, Tom, and Baysa raising her game here again. Now she knows there's no glancing around at this stage. She's home and dry and champion.
And there she is. Boston Marathon winner, Atsede Baysa of Ethiopia.
Amy Craig and Shalane Flanagan holding the finish line tape.
I want to see if she wants something to drink. Okay, would you like something to drink?
And Terfi Sergei of Ethiopia will cross the line in second place. So Ethiopia finishing 1-2. And I believe this is Chepkurui of Kenya.
Well, it turned out to be a pretty comfortable victory, didn't it, for Baysa? And she actually didn't look that tired to me. Maybe because all that hard running was really just a 6 or 8K surge from her.
interviews, but you feel comfortable speaking in English?
And here comes the bronze medalist. Joyce Chepkurui from Kenya.
Chepkurui demonstrating great form with a great half marathon in her preparation for Boston, but
You have a little bit of time.
not able to compete as they got to the closing stages of this race.
Atsede Baysa of Ethiopia wins the elite women's race, and the men still to finish. We'll have those results when we come back to Boston. We'll see the finish of the men's.